Hello students and welcome to the online session. Myself Dr. S.R. Patil. I am working as assistant professor at the S.V.K.T. Arts, Science and Commerce College, Deolali camp in the Department of Chemistry. Dear students, today's session is for the TYBSc class and the subject name is the environmental chemistry. In today's session, here we discuss chapter number 4, that is the water treatment and effluent management. Dear students, today's session agenda is, first we discuss about introductory part about the water pollution and the water treatment. Then we will discuss about the domestic sewage, or we say that the wastewater treatment. Then further we will discuss on the municipal waste treatment, process of the municipal wastewater treatment. Then we have discussed about the sewage treatment. Dear student, there are 4 types of sewage treatment, or we can say that there are 4 stages for the sewage treatment. In today's session, out of these 4, we will discuss the 2 stages. First, we will discuss the preliminary or preparatory waste treatment, and then we discuss second stage, that is the primary or mechanical waste treatment. This is the session agenda for today's session. And the learning objective of today's sessions are, after the today's session, student should know about the importance of water. Student should know about the water pollution, about the wastewater treatment. Okay, these are the some learning objective of today's session. First, we discuss about the introductory part. We know that the presence of small amount of biodegradable pollutants in a natural aquatic systems can be easily decomposed by the microorganisms into harmless materials. The water in the said to have undergoes the self-purification, that is the self-purification mechanism for the purification of water. And there are several other mechanisms by which a natural tends to purify water during the course of hydrological cycle. We know that hydrological cycle. We had already discussed hydrological cycles in our previous sessions. And here some of these processes are given here. First, like the crystallization of water as ice or evaporation as vapors removes the dissolved constituent. Second one is the filtration through sand and the porous rock elements, water of algae and weeds. And third process is the aeration of groundwater as it trickles over a rock surface and allows the volatile impurities to be released to the atmosphere. These are the natural processes to purify the water, and we say that this is a self-purification process of water by the nature. Okay. Before the explosion of the human population and the industrial evolution, a natural purification phenomena were quite responsible or satisfactory to provide the sufficient water of their limit through this self-purification process. Okay, because there is a population is very less, and due to that the demand of purified water is fulfilled by these processes, natural processes. Okay, the community wastewater, we say, is the sewage. Okay, that combines with the domestic waste with the industrial and other effluents. In most cases, the wastewater is a discharge into the natural water bodies like river, lakes and the oceans. Therefore, a series of purification operations are necessary to restore these natural characteristics and the life sustaining qualities of water. So the type and the degree treatments are very much depends upon the source and the intended use of water. Okay, these two terms is most important during the purification process or during the purification technique. One is the source and second exact the use of water or the purpose of water, use of water. Okay, in this session each major kind of treatment process is discussed. Okay, first we discuss about the domestic sewage or waste water treatment. Okay, we know that sewage may be considered as a liquid waste from the community which is extremely polluted in a nature. It includes sewage discharge from latrines, urinals, etc. and some industrial waste also. The domestic sewage is also known as a sanitary sewage, okay, and is the liquid waste derived from the residential and the business buildings and institutions. Okay, this is the domestic sewage. The community wastewater, we say that the sewage, okay, that combines with the domestic waste with the industries and the other effluent. Okay, we already discussed this point in our previous slide also, okay, in the introduction section. In many cases, the wastewater without any treatment is added into the rivers, lakes, seas or in oceans. Okay, and industrial effluents are increasingly discharged into the public system. There are different examples of this type of discharge of industrial effluent into the different public systems. And the major constituent of community waste water are thus obtained from the domestic and the commercial sources also. So these are the made up of the human waste, okay, because human being is responsible, majorly responsible for the water pollution. And in that there is include the human waste also, solid and the dissolved form of food waste, then soaps, detergents and the soil residues. So an efficient sewer disposal is important to the health of any community, okay, and the easy method of the municipal sewer disposal is by the dilution method. We know that it's a very simple method for the purification. So in this method the waste is dumped into the available body of water such as the river or lake. So the oxygen present in such water bodies the old in time destroy the organic sewage. So this is because the under natural process most of the biodegradable substances of the sewers are rapidly destroyed. Okay, the microorganisms are used these dissolved oxygen for the biodegradation of the organic content. So the treatment of water divided into three divisions. Okay, that is a purification treatment. First one is the purification for the domestic use. Second one is the treatment for specialized industrial applications. Third one is the treatment of wastewater to make it admissible for the reuse. Okay, these are the treatment of sewage water. Okay, and these are the three types. First one important one is the purification for the domestic use. Second one is the treatment for specialized industrial application, and third one is the treatment of wastewater to make the admissible for the reuse. Okay, many of the physical and chemical processes used to treat the water. Okay, for the purification it requires a different type of chemical and physical processes, okay, such as a similar phenomenon irrespective of their applications to the three divisions of water treatment noted above. Okay, this is a most important point as concerned with the purification of municipal wastewater treatment. The most important function of the water treatment plants, that is the operator, those who operate that water treatment plant, is to ensure that the water plant product offers no hazards to the consumers. This is the most important job of that operator during the water treatments. So the wastewater is first taken into the aerator. This is the first step for the purification of municipal water treatment. Then in the aerator, okay, water is comes in contact with the air and it removes the volatile substances like the hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide and methane. Similarly, it removes the volatile odor substances such as the CH3SH, that is the methane thiol, okay, and the some bacterial metabolites also. Then contact of oxygen with water helps to remove the soluble iron into the insoluble iron, okay, Fe2 to Fe3, and we know that this is a simple process of oxidation. So after the aeration step, limes as a calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide is added to the raise the pH of that water, and due to the addition of lime, the calcium and magnesium ions are removed in the form of precipitate. So these precipitate are allowed to settle down in a primary basin. Okay, the suspended solid materials are removed by the addition of coagulants like the alum. It forms the gelatinous metal hydroxide, okay, and which helps to settle the colloidal particles. That is the role of that coagulant. Due to addition of coagulant, it forms the gelatinous metal hydroxide, and due to the formation of that, the colloidal particles are settled into that tank. So sometimes the activated silica or the synthetic polyelectrolytes also added to enhance the coagulation process. So the settling tank place in the secondary basin after the addition of carbon dioxide, and due to that it helps to lower the pH of water. So the sludge from both the primary and secondary basins is taken into the sludge lagoons, and then finally chlorine is added to the water. We know that this is a process of chlorination. Okay, these are the steps are required to purify the municipal waste treatment. Then it is filtered off and then pumped to the city water mains. Next important point is concerned to the sewage treatment. Okay, conventionally municipal sewage contain the oxygen demanding materials than the sediments, grease, oil, fruits, then the pathogenic bacteria, viruses, salts, algal nutrients, pesticides, refractory organic compounds, and it can also contain the heavy metals and salts. Okay, these are the some sewage content present in that municipal water. Okay, so it is the task of the water treatment plant operator to remove such of these all materials as possible. In that, a number of particulars are used to express the sewage. Okay, modern processes for the treatment of the wastewater may be divided into different 4 stages. As I earlier told, there are the different 4 stages for the purification of the wastewater. So in this session, out of these 4, here we discuss the first 2. The treatment of wastewater having a 4 stages. First one is the preliminary or preparatory waste treatment. Okay, in this treatment it includes the screening for the removal of large objects and the skimming process for the removal of grids like the pebbles, sand, dust, and the dirt particles are there. Okay, these different type of impurities are removed by the preliminary waste treatment. Then second stage is the primary or the mechanical waste treatment. In that, first it helps to settle down the suspended solids and colloidal particles. Okay, and then remove all these material. This is the second stage of the purification, primary or mechanical waste treatment. Third stage is the secondary or biological waste treatment. Name itself indicate the process of this stage. Okay, and due to this it helps to remove the both suspended and the dissolved organic pollutants and the oxidize them by the microorganism. That is the biological waste treatment given to the wastewater. And the final fourth stage for the purification of wastewater is tertiary or advanced biological, chemical and physical waste treatment. Okay, in that fourth stage, all the treatments are given to the wastewater for the purification purpose, like biological treatment, chemical treatment and the physical waste treatment. So due to that, it helps to remove the non-biodegradable pollutants, then the ionic compounds, and also to remove the trace impurities. Okay, by using the various techniques such as the reverse osmosis, electrodialysis and ion exchange, this fourth stage is completed for the purification of wastewater treatment. Now first we discuss the stage first. First stage for the purification of wastewater is a preliminary waste treatment. Okay, and this stage of treatment involves the removal of impurities by two ways. First by the screening method and second by the skimming method. Here we discuss both these methods. First we discuss about the screening. We know that usually the suspended materials is eliminated by the screening process, and in this process the impure or wastewater is allowed to pass through the screens. Okay, and in that these screens are made up of the rows of iron bars, and when we discuss about the structure of that screen, the spacing between those two bars is about 1 to 2 inches, and these spacing are narrow enough to hold the backsticks, wood pieces, then the papers and the polythene items. That means all these impurities are trapped in that the in between the two bars. Okay, because the spacing of these two bars is near about 1 to 2 inches. Okay, then the cleaning of this screening or this bar is most important. Okay, therefore the bars are periodically cleaned to prevent the clogging. Okay, this is the simple process for the purification. Okay, second one is the skimming. This is a screening. Second technique is the skimming technique. In that the floating material is removed by the process of skimming. So the lighter impurities like oil, grease, which are rise to the surface, okay, and then can be removed by the mechanical skimming process. And this method is also helpful to remove the impurities which are heavier than water. This is skimming process. This can be achieved by the blowing the compressed air into the wastewater. Okay, due to the blowing the compressed air, the air bubbles thus form. Okay, and that adheres themselves to the grit particles and the lift them to the surface. That means they are floated on the surface. Okay, and from there they are skimmed out. So the effectiveness of this skimming technique can be intensified by adding the collecting and the activating agent. Okay, to improve or to increase the effect of that skimming process, these two important agents can be added into the skimming process, like the collecting and the activating agent. For example, they add the potassium xanthate, or also they can add the glue for improving the effectiveness of the skimming process. So these agents forms a thin film of suspended particles to which air bubbles are attached. This is a use of that two agents. Due to the adding agents, they form the film of that suspended particle to which air bubbles are attached, and due to that air bubble attachment, they are floated on the water surface, and it is then it is easily skimmed out from the water. Okay, these are the skimming process. First we discuss about the screening, and then we discuss about the skimming. Now here we discuss some important features of preliminary treatment of water purification. First important feature of this treatment is the primary objectives of preliminary treatments are to remove the suspended and floating material by means of the screening technique. Okay, there are two important objectives. First one is suspended and floating materials removed by the screening process. Second one, the grit particles, that is the sand, broken glasses, okay, all these are the removed by the into the grit chambers. And third important features is the greases and oil substances by the flotation in the skimming tank. There are different type of tanks, series of tanks are there to perform the each and every operation. Okay, so these floating material are removed in the skimming tank. So next important features of this process is the screens. Okay, that screens are used for removal of pieces of wood, plastic. Okay, that is the large particles from the water. Okay, that is the sewage, wastewater. Okay, present in that sewage. Third important feature of this preliminary treatment is that the sewage contain the inorganic matters such as the sand, broken glasses or crockery. This is the important feature, three important feature for the preliminary wastewater treatment to remove the different types of pollutant from the sewage water. So they are removed in the distinct tanks, okay, and the coarse particles of the grits are removed in the grit chamber. As I earlier said that there are different types of tanks are there to remove the different types of impurities. Next important feature is the sewage also contain the grease, oil, etc., and they produces the foul odors when the sewage is discharged into the water. So they are removed in the skimming tank. Next important point about the preliminary treatment is that the screenings are usually disposed of by the viewers in the ground, and then incineration of these material is carried out, and finally it is used as a fertilizer. This is all about the stage number first, which is given to the sewage wastewater. Okay, preliminary stage, preliminary treatment. Second stage is at the primary or the mechanical waste treatment. In that, the treatment involves the settling of the colloidal or suspended matter as the sludge. We know that what is meant by sludge. Okay, and this treatment is given by the two ways. First one is the sedimentation and second one is the flocation. Remember that in the first stage, preliminary stage, there are also two processes, screening and skimming. While in the second stage, there are also two processes. First is the sedimentation and second one is the flocation. Here we also discuss both these processes one by one. First we discuss about the sedimentation. We know that most of the suspended materials in the wastewater are too fine, okay, and to be screened out and too heavy to be skimmed off, because they are not removed in the preliminary, they are not removed in a first stage, preliminary stage, and these may be removed by the allowing them to settle down under the influence of gravity, okay, and that process is called as the sedimentation. Once again I repeat the definition of sedimentation process. We know that most of the suspended material in wastewater are too fine to be screened out, okay, and too heavy to be skimmed out. So these may be removed by the allowing them to settle down under the influence of gravity, and that process is called as a sedimentation. Okay, a sedimentation tank is usually shallow and radical in shape. Okay, so wastewater is kept in the tank for the 133 hours. During this period, impurities settle down at the bottom of the tank. Okay, then it is then the scrapped mechanically from the bottom of the tank. This is the process of sedimentation. Next process is the flocation process. What is meant by the flocation? It means to clean water from extremely fine particles. Okay, normally these particulates takes place a very long time to settle down under the influence of gravity, and the process of sedimentation is not effective for their removal. Hence, in order to increase the rate of sedimentation, the flocating agents are used. For example, the potash alum, ferric sulfates are added to the water to improve the flocation process. Due to that, the fine particle comes in contact with each other and combines or unite and settle down at the bottom of the tank, and they are removed easily by the mechanical process. Next one, the important features of these primary treatment, that is the second stage of the sewage water treatment. First important feature of the primary treatment to sewage consists of mainly the sedimentation process to remove the suspended organic solids. Second one is the important objective of that sedimentation process are the finely divided suspended solids are settled down by the sedimentation process, and due to this process removes about 80 to 90% of the settleable solids. Third important feature of the second stage is the sedimentation tank may be primary or secondary. When it is used for setting suspended solid before biological treatment, it is called as a primary tank, and when the sedimentation tank is used for setting suspended solid after the biological treatment, it is called as a secondary tank. Okay, primary tank and secondary tank. Next important feature of the second stage, primary stage for the sewage wastewater treatment is the sedimentation of sewage may be assisted by adding a certain chemical substances called as coagulants. We know that different type of coagulants. It helps to coagulate the smaller particle from the large particle. And the commonly used coagulants are the alum, lime, ferric chloride, etc. Okay. Next is some advantages and disadvantages of this coagulation process. Okay. First we discuss about the advantages. We know that first important advantage is that the biological oxygen demand, then the colors are much reduces, and the operation is simple and the important. Like the advantage, there are some disadvantages of these coagulations are there, and the first important advantage is this is the costly process, okay. Then the skilled supervisor is required for the coagulation process. Okay, these are some advantages of coagulation process along with the disadvantage. So in this today's session, here we discuss about the introductory part about the wastewater treatment and water pollution also. Then we have discussed about the domestic sewage and the wastewater treatment. In that we had discussed about the municipal wastewater treatment, how the wastewater is treated by the municipal corporation. We had discussed the different stages of the treatment of municipal corporation to treat the wastewater. Then we had important point discussed is the sewage treatment. As I earlier told, there are 4 stages for the sewage treatment, but in this today's session we have discussed first 2 stages. First we had discussed about the preliminary or preparatory waste treatment for the sewage. Second stage we had discussed is a primary or mechanical waste treatment. Dear student, this is all about the today's session. In the next session we will discuss the same point, sewage treatment, and in that we will discuss the next 2 stages for the purification of the sewage wastewater. Thank you very much.